Last night on Monday Night Raw, the WWE Universe was shocked when AJ Styles confronted John Cena. John Cena returning after being gone for months and months and months to have AJ Styles' music hit during Cena's America promo. And they just stood there for minutes. And you could hear the crowd. Let's go Cena. Let's go Styles. Let's go Styles. Cena sucks. The crowd was on fire, and it was a magical moment in the WWE. Man, I wish I could be so buried as AJ Styles. I mean, facing Y2J at WrestleMania. You lost, sure. Facing a guy like Roman Reigns, who the storyline was, is the club together? Is the club broken up? The club doesn't necessarily work together. And then ultimately 2 pay-per-views after main eventing. 2 pay-per-views in a row. Monday Night Raw, the club disbands because Seth Rollins returned. And then this week, AJ Styles comes out in the middle of the ring. The electricity is flowing through the crowd. You can feel it in your bones how awesome of a moment this is. From headlining 2 pay-per-views, your first Mania, to being in the ring with John Cena. What a monumental step to being buried. I mean, he's not buried. The term buried in 2016, I'm sick of it. I'm sorry. When you have guys that aren't even on TV at all, and you got a guy like AJ Styles, I hear the term buried. I get so worked up about it because some people are going to say, well, yeah, but Cena's probably going to win. Cena's the face of the company 10 years in. He should probably win. But how awesome was it that Doc and Carl Anderson come out and confront him after they broke out? You saw what happened earlier on in the night, and then it happened. It looked like Cena and Styles were going to fight together. Twitter was vocal about it. Twitter was losing their mind. Wow, so AJ Styles' new gimmick is he just comes out as a face and puts over other faces like he did for Roman Reigns. So now that's going to be his gimmick and it's never going to lead to anything. But then what happens? John Cena and AJ Styles standing toe-to-toe as the impending group, the former group from the club, come down. And what happens? Cena takes off his stuff. Styles is ready to go. They're approaching the ring. Cena takes a step forward and to the back. AJ Styles attacks Cena and it becomes a beatdown. Earlier on in the night, we had one of the worst stare-downs in WWE history between Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns. It made no sense whatsoever, and I thought it was stupid. But this was better. This was something that was months in the works and basically goes to tell you that while the club went after the title, there's always a story to it. The reason Daniel Bryan's title reign was so special is that he kept being put through adversity, diversity, being screwed, being beat down, being taken advantage of, and ultimately he would overcome that, and that's what made it so special. Here, AJ Styles comes in, and the key is, can he do it on his own? Okay, he couldn't do it on his own, and even if he couldn't do it on his own, groups came in to interfere, and by interfering, he was never doing on his own. It's a story. It's something that you need to have patience with, and I tweeted last night, I would make a video discussing this, and to have patience, my children. It's 2016. We all want that instant gratification. Shout out to my homie CM Pulse, who, if you guys don't listen to his show, Instant Gratification, it's on iTunes. You can check out his YouTube. I highly suggest you go check it out. He had Chris Danker on last night, and it's a banger. You guys should listen to it. And when you look at a guy like Styles, to have this meteoric of a rise says something. AJ Styles doesn't have to win if he's constantly teasing, can he be the bad guy? The club gives him a chair and says, attack Roman Reigns, and he can't do it. The club has to. And then he eventually gets to his end of his limits. Finally, he goes to use the chair, and what does he do? He uses the chair against the Usos instead, not Roman. Roman sees it. Roman attacks, and Roman fights back, and then it leads to the pay-per-view. Now, it's true. They put on one hell of a match, 30 minutes. AJ Styles looked phenomenal. Roman looked phenomenal. But ultimately, he won't win. And should he have won? Should he really have won with an impending brand split? If you think about it now, if he had won the title And then Seth Rollins comes back. Why would Seth Rollins come back and pedigree AJ Styles? What story does that make? It makes a broken one. But Seth coming back for Roman Reigns, the guy that he never lost the title. Roman would go on to win. Seth cost Roman the title at WrestleMania. There's so much history and story there. But the fact that AJ Styles waits till John Cena comes back, a fake breakup. Now, I had predicted and said they would have a fake breakup and it would lead to something. I will admit, think it was more for Roman Reigns. They would admit that they broke up and then they would come out and help him. Not necessarily to win, but I did predict and forecast a breakup. But the fact that they did it on John Cena says something. John Cena talking about the future, and John Cena doesn't have the U.S. title. And the fact that John Cena still has the mindset that new era, you got to pass through the old era. Me, John Cena, the biggest name in the company. That's a perfect spot for John Cena. Now, the big vocal is, well, it doesn't matter. He's going to bury the whole club before it even gets started. How do you know? How do you know? It has been less than 12 hours, almost going on 12 hours to a day now. Well, depending on when you see this video, that the club is reformed, taking out John Cena. How do you know that Cena's going to bury them? Just based on the past? But this is a new era. The fact that the club teased a breakup, waited until Cena comes back, and then goes after the top dog says something. Heading into a brand split, the WWE has some of the greatest possibilities known to man. You're supposed to have a hard brand split, right? The club reforms, right? What happens if the club breaks up? What happens? Where do they go? What if a faction has no lines? What if a faction doesn't follow any rules? What if a faction doesn't listen to authority and goes wherever the hell they want? Cena and AJ Styles have a feud. AJ Styles loses. Cena goes on to the next show and Cena's like, well, what can I say? I'm on this show, you're on that show, deal with it. And Cena's in a big match. Cena's in a title match on SmackDown. Cena's trying to regain that U.S. Intercontinental or whatever title he's going for so he can do open challenges. And out comes, out of nowhere, the club, the Bullet Club, the Baylor Club, the Styles Club, whatever hell club you want to call it. The club that's not even supposed to be on this show because there's a brand split. There's unique rosters. A club that doesn't follow the limits. A club that does whatever the hell they want. Must say television. If they break up, just like in the Bullet Club in real life, you have the Bullet Club in New Japan. You have the Bullet Club in ROH. You have the faction with Chase in the NWA. There's different factions of the Bullet Club. You could have Bullet Club NXT, Bullet Club SmackDown, Bullet Club Raw. And on pay-per-views, when they come together, the Bullet Club is able to have losses. If you follow New Japan all the time, the Bullet Club is a dominating faction, takes losses all the time. There's nothing wrong with a faction taking losses. If you have a group of people, and let's say they add a couple more members, and in a tag team match, the Bullet Club loses, but in the big singles match, the Bullet Club wins. Or if the big singles match with Styles, they lose, but the rest of the club wins, that sets something up. So before you go to say the club is doomed, I highly suggest you watch New Japan or check out the original one. There's going to come times with a club that they lose matches and people are going to instantly assume they're buried and it's over. But that's not how it works. The reason I love Bullet Club over in New Japan is they have to win every single match. There's excitement to it. You don't know. You truly don't know who's going to win and who's not going to win. With the Shield, you didn't necessarily have that. The Bullet Club is something special, and hopefully the WWE doesn't ruin it. And I know there's a lot of people that are skeptical. There's a lot of people that are scared that the WWE will mess up AJ Styles. But what a way to go, to come into the WWE, your first Mania, to main event 2 pay-per-views in a row, and then 2 weeks later you break up, and then you reform to take on John Cena, the biggest name in the company. I can't wait to see the dirt sheet reports about, well, they didn't like Styles, but then they saw something in him, and now they deem him worthy, and now he's fighting. Don't believe everything you read on dirt sheets. If Vince McMahon hated AJ Styles, and Vince McMahon wanted to bury AJ into the ground, he would be on Superstars, not facing the superstar. That's just my opinion. AJ Styles picking up a victory here, and I can't wait to see what the club does. Until next time, it's Tubby. Let me know in the comment section below, what do you think about the club and what is going to happen?